Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Dr. Voodoo. Now, I did a closer look video on him some time ago, but since I just ranked 5'd my 5-star, I thought it would benefit you guys for me to make an updated video on him. Now, I got comments on my rank up choice. One person saying they would not have done that, and that's fair enough. I believe that Dr. Voodoo is quite underrated. He is a very powerful champion. Now, my reasons for taking him to rank 5 had more to do with prestige, but he was in a position for me to rank 5 him because I actually like Dr. Voodoo. Okay, very underrated. But let's take a look at him right quick here. So you can take a look here at his attributes. This is what he looks like at maxed out 565. Take a look at his bonuses here. Nothing too earth-shattering. All right, now let's take a look at his abilities. Now, his signature ability, for me, is very important. I consider Dr. Voodoo one of the champions that really needs to be awakened. Doesn't mean you can't play him quite well without being awakened, but I refused to use him when he was my 5-star unawakened. I actually preferred to use my 4-star that was rank 5 awakened and max sig. All right, so what his passive does, Brother Daniel will possess either Dr. Voodoo or his opponent, moving between them based on Dr. Voodoo's combo meter when he uses a special attack. Okay, on an even combo, Dr. Voodoo is possessed, gaining 100% increased ability accuracy and 125% at max sig increased buff duration. On an odd combo, the opponent is possessed, gaining 50% decreased ability accuracy and 125% increased debuff duration. That's a nice little utility for Dr. Voodoo when you're coming up against folks like Magic and her Limbo, or even Electro. This can be very useful. You just don't see him used all that much. People prefer the flashier champions. Okay, so Dr. Voodoo has energy resist when he's blocking. So if you're taking a lot of energy damage and you're blocking it, I'm thinking maybe Havoc or Red Hulk, maybe. He takes less damage than others. Now, at the start of the fight, he's going to regenerate. And when we look at the gameplay video, you're going to see just how powerful this is. A guaranteed heal at the start of every fight for 10 seconds. Now, all of his attacks have a 10% chance to place a Loa on the opponent. What's a Loa? A Loa is a buff with no effects. Now, why would you want to put a buff that has no effects on your opponent? Well, we're going to find out when we look at his special attacks. Okay, so his special attack 1, you have a 50% chance, so that's half the time, so it's not a guarantee, to envenom each of the opponent's buffs, which will nullify them and apply a poison, and it'll do damage over 20 seconds. Now, what that means is that the more buffs they have, the more damage you're going to do. So the buffs that you place on them, the Loas, they count. So even if you're going up against a champion that does not rely on buffs, you're going to put buffs on them so that you'll still be able to use your special 1 to do damage and to poison them. I wish some other champions had that, like Symbiote Supreme. Okay, so the special 2, this special 2 is where it's at. Now, the special 1 does a lot of damage, and in some cases where they have a lot of buffs, you want to use it. But look at what the special 2 does. You have a 50% chance to convert up to 3 Loas, those are the buffs you put on them, nullifying them and placing either a buff on Dr. Voodoo or a debuff on your opponent, based on the combo meter. So when you fire off your special 2 on an even combo, all of Dr. Voodoo's attacks gain a 50% chance to burn 2.5% of his opponent's power. So that is a power burn, okay? But here is something that a lot of people don't realize. Converting 525% of the power burnt into energy damage, lasting 15 seconds. So what that means is that not only are you controlling their power by power burning them on every attack, but you're also dealing a lot more damage. That is powerful, and you're going to see that in action as well. Okay, now on an odd combo, which is less exciting, the target leaks 35% of their power over 10 seconds. Honestly, majority of the time, you want to use the special 2 on an even combo. And finally, the special 3 attack, you have a 100% chance of applying Power Leech to the target, stealing 45% of max power over 20 seconds. When the Power Leech ends for any reason, so after the 20 seconds are over or if it was nullified, Dr. Voodoo gains an equivalent power gain buff. That can be quite handy. If you happen to push them to a special 3 and you have a special 3 ready for Dr. Voodoo, fire it off as fast as you can and it will drain their power so that they don't hit you with a special 3. And then you have time to bait it out. So Dr. Voodoo, I believe, is a very underrated champion. He's very powerful and very useful, and hopefully you'll see just how powerful and useful he can be in a moment. All right, so I decided to do something a little bit different with Dr. Voodoo. Now, normally I'll go into Realm of Legends and beat on Winter Soldier to showcase the champion and what they can do. You know, I'll show you their specials and how much damage they're capable of doing. But I don't think that's the best way to showcase Dr. Voodoo's strengths. So instead, I decided to come in here in uncollected mode on the final chapter, the very last quest, and go through a path. All right, so you see me looking through the different paths and the nodes, and I saw Aggression Fury. Now, I couldn't remember if the Fury that they built up was passive or active, so I was thinking maybe this will be a great way to showcase Dr. Voodoo when he converts all those Furies. But alas, that was not the case. The Furies are passive, if I remember correctly, and I can't convert them. Also, as soon as I start hitting him, the Furies go bye-bye. But that's okay. We're still going to be able to see what Dr. Voodoo can do. Alright, so throughout this video, you're going to watch me fire off a special 1, as you saw right there, and you'll notice that all of the buffs that he had on him were converted to poisons. And those poisons are ticking very nicely, but they were only like 2 stacks. Now right here, he's got 3 stacks of those Loas. Okay, those are the buffs that you put on that don't do anything. So now I convert. Now it didn't convert it. Remember when we read that there is a chance for it to fail. So about half the time, that's what's going to happen. So again, I went in, fired it off. This time they did convert, and it was lights out. So there is a chance to fail with Dr. Voodoo. It's a little annoying, but it's a good 50% of the time. So you just go back in. Now I'm running suicides, full suicides, double edge and liquid courage. Dr. Voodoo, he is okay with suicides, but he doesn't play as nicely as others with them. All right, so as you saw, we were able to get him down pretty well, and now we're facing Taskmaster. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with Taskmaster. All right, instead of firing off my special 1, again, it was always on an even combo. Make sure you notice that. And the same thing with the special 2. Like I said, you want to fire it off on an even, and there we go. So now, every time I hit him, see the power burn? And look at his power. So not only am I draining his power, but I'm also doing some damage. A lot more damage than normal. And because he's maxed out and everything, his buffs last a very long time. So down goes Taskmaster. Now I could have fired off a special 1, and that would have worked as well. Taskmaster goes immune to debuffs after, I think, what is it, 20 or so? I don't remember exactly. All right, so now this fight here, This is a fun one because Aegon has active furies that he builds up. So we can convert all of the furies Aegon builds up into poisons. Okay, look at that. He's already up to 5. And so as soon as I get that special 1, what I'm going to do is go to the uneven combo. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. I should have gone and hit a special 1, but instead I did a special 2 to control the power. And then I build up to another special 1, and then I fire it off. Yeah, that's what I did. All right, so here we go. See, he has 6, right? Boom. 10 poisons. That's 3 of the Loas. Then he had, I think, 6 or 7 Furies. Insane. But I'm not used to fighting Aegon, so I normally fire off a special 2 just to get the power under control and to do more damage. And then I do a special 1. But with Aegon, I should have just fired off the special 1 right off the bat. And that would have been fine. Alright, so now we're facing Miles Morales, who is annoying. Okay, those evades. But with Miles Morales, in case you didn't know, he has a set number of charges. So right now he's down to 2. Every time he evades, he takes away 1 of those. Once he no longer has any charges, he can no longer do the auto evade unless the node gives him the ability to evade. So you see there, he evaded 1 more time and he's down to 1. And his chance to evade also goes down along with the charges. So I've got 4 of these Loas. Now, if you fire off a special on him, he gains charges. So you actually don't want to fire off your specials. You want to get him down. You don't want him to evade. You want to get those charges off of him and then just beat him silly. That is why you don't see me firing off my special. But once I get him down pretty low, I say, you know what? Let's just finish him off with a special 3. And if you remember what the special 3 does, it's not going to matter in this case here because we just took him out. But that also does a little bit of a power drain and gives you a buff. Since I did it on a even, I believe I did it on an even. Wasn't really paying attention because I knew it was going to kill him. So it didn't really matter. Alright, so far, Dr. Voodoo is ripping stuff up. I know people, you know, they don't know about him or they don't like him, but he's actually really, really good. Alright, so now we're facing Miss Marvel. Now here's the thing with Miss Marvel. She's poison immune. So Dr. Voodoo, going up against a poison immune champion, firing off a special 1, not going to be all that useful. So at first I was thinking, okay, I'll fire off a special 2 on an even combo that will increase my damage and, you know, control her power. But then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just beat her down? She's going down pretty quickly and I already have my special 3. If she happens to get a special 3, I would have fired off my special 3 and drained her power. But as you can see, she was already dead at this point. The other reason that I fired off a special 3 was to make sure that I showcased the special 3 and so that I can put a clip in the beginning. But I also had a special 3 on Miles Morales as well. Alright, but in any case, you can see that Dr. Voodoo is just ripping folks up left and right. Alright, so here we go with Diablo. I don't like Diablo. I don't like him, don't like him at all. Alright, but watch what Dr. Voodoo can do to Diablo because Diablo is not poison immune. Okay, so we've got a few Loas on him now. You know, got 3 up there. Alright, and all we're doing here is just trying to build up a little bit. And I fire off my special 1. We had 5 stacks. Got 6 poisons now. And look at that. Those poisons are just ticking away. And they last a long time. Remember what the signature ability does. It increases the debuffs, all that good stuff, or the buffs. So, yeah. We tore Diablo up. Alright, so now we're actually done with the path, and we're going to face Captain Marvel. Now, I wasn't sure just how this was going to go. I've never fought Captain Marvel with Dr. Voodoo, and it's been a while since I fought her in Uncollected. I did this early in the month, went through it, didn't really have too much of a problem, but again, I wasn't used to fighting her by any means, and then Dr. Voodoo, not used to fighting her with him. And you can see she's also poison immune, and she has energy absorption. So I was like, well, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I decided to give it a go anyway. All right, now while we're fighting here, I also wanted to make a mention, and you might want to rewind, or not rewind, but go back earlier in the video and take a look at Dr. Voodoo's health. And you can see it here too. He's healing up. Look, he's at 100% health. I got hit before. I'm running suicides, but we're still taking, you know. Now here, I messed up, okay? And so I'm just like, oh man, this was bad. All right, but I got that special 2 off, and so you see I'm doing power burn, and I'm doing a lot of damage. I'm not sure what happened there. I thought I moved back. He just stood there. I thought the fight was over at that point. But I'm just like, all right, Dr. Voodoo, we can't go out like this. I told everybody you were good. Show them what you can do, bro. Show them what you can do. Yes, I was a little nervous, went a little too early on that. And I'm like, okay, Dr. Voodoo, take her out. No, 3%. Don't hit me. And we got her. One shot with Dr. Voodoo. Ugly. Not a pretty fight at all, but we still managed to do it. That should have been much smoother. That was all me, so don't blame Dr. Voodoo. Anyway, hopefully after this video you see just how powerful Dr. Voodoo is. And he has great utility. That power control he has, he does really good damage. So I don't regret ranking him up at all. All right, but primarily he was a prestige rank up. But that's going to do it, guys. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.